Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another perfume review video. My name is Naz. This is my channel, the King of Hidden Gems. I try to bring to your attention fragrances are usually very good value for money. They smell good. They're usually under the radar. Not many people talk about them. I think at least you should do research trial for yourself and see if they're any good to you. So in this video I have another update for you, and this is the House of Joop. House of Joop is a German designer brand. They've been around for 50 years or more, and they have quite an extensive perfume lineup in their portfolio, both for ladies and men. I think altogether maybe around 50 perfumes. This one is a flanker of the Joop Homme, the original, which was released in 1989, and it was a big hit. Although it was very polarizing, but it was a big hit nevertheless. Even today it has a big following and is selling very well. So this one, is it any good? Is it redundant? Is it viable? What is it? So first thing first, presentation very similar to the original one, almost identical. The only difference is this one's got this neon coloring to it, which is not far off from the original pink juice. So again, very similar presentation, and that reflects in the smell as well. So let's go first to the presentation is very good, especially for the price. This one retails for £60, but in the United Kingdom, if you do your research, if you Google it, it comes up and you can find it discounted under £30. For that price, I think is very good. So in terms of performance is not as beastly as I was expecting it. So my skin went easily over 7 hours. On t-shirt and materials goes easily over 9 hours. So it's a good performer, especially for EDT, and also especially for the price. But I was expecting a bigger performance because the original one, the Joop Homme 1989, was an absolute beast. It was ultra beast. It was superbly strong. Today's one, if you buy today's Joop Homme, is still very strong, easily over 8 hours. So this one is a hint less than what you get Joop Homme, the reformulated one. So that was a little bit on the disappointing side, because I was expecting it to go at least about 8 hours plus and 10 hours plus on materials, but unfortunately it didn't. But again, it is good, but it's not a beast mode. In terms of projection, an arm length of projection for around 2 hours or so, maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours, and after that it will slowly subside. But you always have a medium bubble, medium cloud, and a medium trail. So again, in terms of projection, is not a beast mode either. The original one was an absolutely ultra beast in terms of projection, and today's one, the reformulated one, is still very strong and is and projects superbly strong. So this one again a tad weaker than the even today's reformulated Joop Homme original. So is it viable for people who love Joop Homme original? I think yes. If you find it for a good price, especially under £30, it doesn't break the bank. If you like the original, most likely you like this because they are very similar to each other. The only difference I could find is this one is a tad less sweeter and a tad less more mature. So that's the only difference I could find. Otherwise, 95% this and Joop Homme original or Joop Homme original, which you buy today, are almost identical. Who's it for? Definitely I would say people who love sweet perfumes, because this is very sweet. It's quite gourmand. It's honeyed, it's sweet, it's syrupy, it's a little bit of bubble gum in here, and also all those things making it quite sweet perfume. If the original one from 0 to 10 was 9 in terms of sweetness, the original Joop Homme, this one is around 7 to 8. It opens up around 8 and later on it subsides to 7. So it is tad less sweeter and a tad more sophisticated, less juvenile, if you like. So for that, I would say 25 years and older to be in the safe side. Although if you like this kind of perfumes, this could be easily worn by 18 years old. It's very good for going out. It's very good for clubbing. It's very good for going to, cinema, dating, things like that. It's very, very delicious, although very sweet in the same time. So you need to like your sweet perfumes. You need to have a sweet tooth to enjoy this. I myself, because I love the original Joop Homme, and I still do, I still have bottles of that one. I went through many bottles of it. I think this one is very, very good. The only small disappointing for me, it was the performance. Although it's a good performer, but because I was expecting it to be a little bit stronger, a beast mode at least, not a beast mode, 8 hours plus, for that there was a hint of disappointment in there. So season definitely better suited for cooler weather because of that sweetness of this fragrance, and also in terms of occasion, this is very good for going out, special occasion or formal occasion, but you can use it casual in the same time if you like. It's very, very versatile, and also doesn't hurt the pockets. You can use it anytime, anywhere you want. Gender wise, definitely a little bit on the masculine side, but because of this big sweetness in here, it makes it quite unisex in the same time. So if you're a lady like my wife loves the original Joop Homme. She, every time I buy a bottle, she takes it away. So this one is she's gravitating toward this one as well. Yesterday she smelled it on me and she said, wow, this is very, very nice. So the conclusion is, if you like the original one, most likely you like this. If you don't like the original, most likely you won't like this. Is it value for money? I think so. Under £30, this is quite a good perfume. It's well done. It's very well put together. It smells great and also delicious, sweet, gourmand. In terms of the perfumery, is quite good. In terms of ingredients, it's quite good. So all these things are quite good. As I said, a tad disappointing for me was the performance. If it was a little bit stronger, I would have been just highly, highly recommended. Although now I recommend it, but it's not highly recommended. So let's get to the smell of this perfume. So in the notes breakdown, they're saying 3 notes only, which is orange blossom, honey, and tonka, which is ridiculous because I can smell many, many other stuff in here. So first thing first, when it opens up, it's got quite a big zestiness to it. It's quite lemony, it's quite bergamonty, and that it gives it a little bit of brightness. So this one is a tad more brighter than the original one. So that's another difference, very, very small amount. When we're talking here, we're talking about a very small amount, almost negligible. So that opens up with a citrus, very, very bright, very happy, sweet in the same time, and it's got a big white floral aspect to it, which is, to my nose, is orange blossom, it's lily of the valley, and also a little of that tuberose and a little of jasmine. So all these things making it heavy on the white florals, but the white florals are very, very well amalgamated with everything else, and it doesn't feel like a typical white floral fragrance. So that's a good thing about this fragrance. So let me read you the ingredients and we'll take it from there. So the ingredients on top, we have orange blossom, we have mandarin orange, bergamot, and lemon. So yes, I get all of these. I get the mandarin orange, I get bergamot, and I get lemon, and I get the orange blossom very, very strongly. The orange blossom in here is very delicious, it's very creamy. Overall, this is quite a creamy fragrance. It's quite smooth, quite rounded. There's no harshness, there's no chemical, there's no sharpness, there's no alcohol in here. So in terms of quality, it's quite good. In the middle, we have cinnamon and cardamom to give it that big body of spiciness. I smell some nutmeg as well. So nutmeg, cinnamon, and cardamom giving it a big body as spiciness, but the spices are quite subtle in here. They're not super spicy. It's quite subtle. Jasmine, yes. Lily of the valley, yes. Orange blossom, yes. And tonka bean. Sorry, the the no, the tonka bean, what's the other one, tuberose. The tuberose here give it a little bit of bubble gum. The jasmine here give it a little bit of that andolic feel, not too much, just a hint. And in the base is heavy on the tonka bean and vanilla. So tonka bean and vanilla here are very big and also dominant. This the woodsy aspect of this fragrance is quite subtle, very subtle, very small amount of woodiness to it, which is combination of cedar sandalwood. The patchouli here giving it a little bit of depth, a little bit of that complexity, but again very subtle. And the honey here giving it that sweet, add to the sweetness of it, and it makes it a little bit of sophisticated sweetness rather than being quite a juvenile sweetness from the original one. Vetiver, I get a hint of vetiver in here, but giving it a little bit of green, grassy aspect, very small amount, again very subtle in the same time. What you mostly realize or mostly get from this, or at least what I got from my experience, from my testing of this fragrance, and also my skin, my environment, my climate, my nose, all these things, is this one sweet and more sweet. Later on, it's a hint, but still stay sweet. So you need to like your sweet perfumes to enjoy this. Interesting enough, my daughter said she smells like, you know, something like, she said, something like seaside greenness. So she said seaside grassiness. So this is in her nose. This is what she was feeling it. But to me, this is very sweet, and from beginning to the end, so you need to like your sweet perfumes to enjoy this. So to recap very quickly, vanilla and tonka bean in the base giving it sweetness, the tonka bean here giving it a little bit of nuttiness, a little bit of earthiness, and warm spiciness, which is coming from the nutmeg, the cinnamon, especially the cinnamon is by far the biggest player here, and also the cardamom to give it a big body of spiciness, but the spices are quite subtle, they are not a huge player. White florals are dominant here, which is the jasmine, the orange blossom first and foremost is the biggest player. After that is the tuberose. After that is the jasmine, the jasmine, and after that is the lily of the valley. So this is the strongest to the weakest in terms of the white florals. But it doesn't smell like typical white florals because it's got so many players here. Hint of powderiness, yes, hint of dustiness in here. Citruses are quite big in the beginning, especially the mandarin orange, lemon, and bergamot, giving it quite a bright opening, happy opening. Cinnamon is by far the biggest player in terms of the spices, and it's quite sweet from the beginning to the end, quite woody in the base, but the woods are very subtle, which is a combination of cedar sandalwood, and clean, very aromatic, which is mainly coming from the lavender. So the lavender they're not mentioning in the note breakdown, but I smell the lavender quite strongly in here to give it that big aromatic feel, and overall it's quite floral because of those white florals as well. So if you like the description I gave you, or you like the original Joop Homme, you probably will like this. If you don't like the original Joop Homme, most likely you won't like this. Don't forget that perfume was very polarizing, so this one could be polarizing as well. But for me, for my taste, for my age, for my experience, this is a good perfume. Is not excellent. If he had a good or a better performance, don't forget the performance is still good. It's about 7 hours on the skin, 9 hours on t-shirt, so it is good, but it's not excellent. If it was better, I would have given it 10 out of 10, and I would have highly recommended it. For now, I recommend it, but you need to know what kind of perfumes you like to enjoy it or not enjoy it. So this is up to you to what to do with this one. Okay guys, if you have it, if you know it, if you tried it, let us know your experience. That would be useful for others to read. If you like what I do, if you find it useful, informative, valuable, or entertaining, please don't forget to hit those buttons. This way help me, encourage me, motivate me, and also to challenge the infamous YouTube algorithm, which is getting worse and worse. The big players getting richer, the smaller players getting poorer, and eventually they are pushing us out. I am one of those small players. If you don't help me with your finger, which is a movement of a finger, Thank you for your likes, thank you for your shares, thank you for your comments, thank you for your subscription, which is free, by the way. All these things will help this channel to keep afloat, to stay in this endeavor, to bring you perfumes like this in future that nobody else is talking about. They are under the radar, under the limelight, because the big players don't go after big names because of obvious reasons. They get bigger hits, bigger views, and blah blah. Okay, guys, as if you are interested in supporting me by buying one of my own perfumes, I'm a perfumer myself. I make my own line of perfumes. I'm the perfumer, I'm the artist, I'm the worker. So there are true handmade perfumes just for lucky people in the United Kingdom. I put more than 60% pure perfume oils in my perfumes, which is unheard of, and that gives them the huge personality, very bold, very big, very artistic and unique. They're like time capsule, they take you different places, different time, and they are super beautiful, if I say myself. Thank you very much as always for watching. Thank you very much for love and support, and I'll see you later. Bye bye bye.